Okay guys, we're just going to give you a quick little update here. We never really did much of a video on this. I showed you this 68 Malibu that was in here that Darren had to do the wiring on. What the customer had was he had the old original harness and some of it was burnt up and no good, and he just wanted Darren to go through the harness and fix it up, and he didn't have the money to buy a brand new harness. The harnesses for these cars, believe it or not, are probably around $2 grand the time you're done. That's for an original harness. Now you can buy aftermarket, and basically they're around a $500 kit, but he wanted to keep this car with all the original plugs and complete, and there's nothing wrong with that. So Darren did a fine job on this one. So like I say, wiring's always a hard thing to film. You're not going to see much, but let me get the hood open. Okay, so you can see here, Darren just put all the wires originally where they belonged. The guy didn't have the proper holders that go here, so for now Darren just used a zap strap. Nothing wrong with that. He's wired everything in from the brakes, you know, up to the, you can see he's got everything correct up in here, neat and tidy as normal for Darren. You know, he's got the wiring running across the back of the engine there. Obviously the wiper motor's not in here, so the customer, the wiper motor was no good, but Darren ran the wires, they're hanging there. Everything is just sitting in place. Now it wasn't up to us to get the vehicle running, the customer's going to do that. We found some good cables that we had laying around the shop, some good battery cables, good used ones. We cleaned them up, made them work. Remember, always lots of ground straps. You should have a ground strap coming from your motor to your body, coming from the motor to the frame, and then one from obviously from the engine going up to your battery. So don't forget to have lots of straps. Now every time Darren wires the car, if it's got headers, or sometimes even if it doesn't, the exhaust manifolds are close, he grabs this, it's sheeting, and what it is, it's meant for, you know, keeps the heat out. So the starter's not on this car, but Darren has put all the wires, he's put them inside of this stuff. So there's going to be no worries of the wires burning if they did get close to the headers and happen to touch. Now if we go inside here, that harness you saw there was, even though it was taped up, it was the original harness. Now here Darren had to, he had to remake the harness that runs to the back. And this is where they factory are on these cars. There's a little groove, an indent in the floor. And on these cars they sit in here. They normally sit in a plastic tubing, but we didn't have it. So nothing's really going to go wrong here. It's covered up with underlay and carpeting, but you can see Darren did a good job. He did each wire in its own proper color. You know, it wasn't like he just grabbed a roll of black and red wire and said, there we go. Everything is done there. You can see he's the fuse panel up underneath there. He took all the fuse panel apart, cleaned it all out, cleaned all the light sockets, even the sockets that go up underneath the dash here, cleaned all those out. And of course, you know, he's got all the aftermarket gauges, a customer right there. We got the wiring laying over here for everything also. So a lot of this stuff can't be hooked up until the customer gets the car together, but basically it's just what's left is just the customer just has to plug a couple things in. So that's it. This one's out the door. It was just a you know, that kept Darren occupied for a good 3 days, so that's pretty damn good. So it'll be a nice car when the guy gets it done. He's going to put some different tires and wheels on it, obviously. The car is pretty filthy right now. It came here filthy, and it still is kind of dirty. But he's coming to pick it up now, and I just thought I'd show you guys what's happening before it disappears. I can't really tell you much about the motor. I don't know much. I just know it's a 350. It's obviously got the Edelbrock, he's bought the whole Edelbrock kit for it there. You know, the E Street heads, and I would imagine he's probably bought the cam and everything to match it all. But that's it. So there you go, guys. So hey, thanks for subscribing. Check us out on oldtimegarage.ca. Check our website out. Lots of t-shirts still available, and that's all I can tell you. So remember, it's always a good time at Old Time. We'll see you later.